everyone, what I'm going to do today is just share with you all a very easy everyday makeup tutorial makeup look that's perfect to wear every day, perfect for most skin types as well, and it's quick and easy and it's probably my most go-to makeup look. When it comes to the colours, I would always say you can go as neutral as possible. The ones that I've got here, you'll probably have something similar at home, so you don't need to rush out and buy everything that I'm talking about in the video. It's just obviously to give you an idea of the kind of colours that I would be using. So normally I would start with my eyes. I would usually just go for something very neutral, probably more like shades like these ones here. This is a kind of neutral shade that's perfect just as a base on the eye. So you are wanting something just quite natural. If it's everyday makeup look, you don't need to put as much on as you would if you're maybe going on a night out. So I would normally just start with eyes. So I'm just going to go in with this shade here. Most people in most eyeshadow palettes have a shade like this, which is a very kind of natural base eyeshadow. So I would normally just pop that on and just put that across the lid. And you can put as little or as much as you want, and just using a brush like this is usually the perfect one to go in if you're just looking for a kind of light application. So I would normally just pop that on. If you did want to add a wee bit more to your eyes, this is obviously just a very simple, easy day makeup look. You can go in with a second colour. Most eyeshadow palettes have something like this one in there as well, which is more of a kind of taupey brown shade. So that's quite a good one to go in with. I'll just show you a little bit of that on if you wanted to go for maybe two eyeshadow colours. It does create just a little bit more definition in the eye, which is perfect. So usually when you're putting a darker shade on, something like this kind of nude shade, you're only going to use a little bit on your brush, and then you're just going to put it at the outer corner of the eye, and you're just going to add it maybe just into the socket line there as well, and that just creates a little bit of definition. And then just the same again at the other side, just in the outer socket, just gently pressing that in, and then just around the socket area there, so the outer corner of the eye here, and then just into the socket just for a wee bit of definition. And this just kind of gives your eyes a wee bit more shape, as you can see. So you can keep it as simple as that if you want, if it's just like natural everyday makeup look. I would then normally go in with an eyeliner just to kind of give a wee bit more definition to the eyes. I do like to wear an eyeliner. I would normally just go in with it on the top of the lid. So I'm just going to put this on. This is just a brown one. So again, it's still very natural for during the day. I think this is actually a Rimmel one. It is quite well worn down here, so you can't really see anymore, but I'm sure it was a Rimmel one. So I'm just going to put this on next. Just show you how it looks, obviously just adding a little bit, just to give you an idea in the difference. So this obviously has eyeliner on and this one doesn't, so it just adds a wee bit more definition. Still very subtle and perfect for an everyday makeup. So I'm just going to go in and put a wee bit more on the other side. Usually when you are applying an eyeliner, if this is a step you would do in your makeup, it's best to always just kind of start with gentle strokes instead of trying to get a full line all the way along. I would normally just do little lines and then just join them all up together. And then once your eyeliner's on, you can go in with a mascara. So the mascara that I always go for is the Maybelline Lash Sensational mascara. This is one that I've used for many years. I do love this one, so it's more of like a thickening, volumizing one. So if you are looking for a mascara like that, this one's very reasonable and it's a great one. I've always went back to this one. I have tried quite a few different mascaras. I did have a video that I made a tutorial on how to apply mascara, that you can check that out as well if you're looking for something in a wee bit more detail. I did create a separate tutorial on the perfect way to apply it, but I'll just share with you how I would normally apply it here as well. So normally it's easy just to look into a mirror and then just coat your lashes and just brush them up the way, and just make sure you're coating them from the roots, and just take your time, be very gentle. If obviously you're not used to applying mascara, just take your time until you practice and it becomes quite easy. Usually I would just put a little coat of mascara on just for an everyday makeup look. Sometimes people prefer to put a wee bit more on if it was an evening look, but I usually just kind of maybe put one coat on like that, and it just gives nice definition to the eyes, your lashes. It just makes them stand out a wee bit more. I would say if you're looking for a lengthening mascara, Maybelline do they do another one that they brought out recently. I'll see if I can find it and link it below. and it's more of a lengthening one. So if you are looking for a thickening one, I would say the Lash Sensational. If you're looking for the lengthening one, I'll get the name of it and I'll add it onto this video and link it below for you. Once your mascara's on, I would then normally go to eyebrows next. So to do my eyebrows, I would normally just use a little brush like this, just to comb them up first. So when you're doing your eyebrows, what you want to do is you want to brush them up first, and then brush them kind of along just so they're in a shape. And then I would normally just go in with, again, it's up to yourself. Sometimes people like a powder. I do find that this eyeliner pencil that I used on my lids is the perfect shade for my eyebrows as well. It's like two products, obviously one for your eyes, one for your brows. So it is the perfect shade for myself. Some people prefer a powder, like I said, so you can go in and do your eyebrows with a powder. You want to be very light-handed when you're applying your eyebrow pencil or powder. You don't want to go in too heavy, so it doesn't look too dark, and you can always build it up gradually. I would say that's probably quite a good tip before being maybe too heavy-handed, maybe putting too much on. You just want to take your time and just apply it just in soft, gentle strokes like that to the eyebrow, and just very lightly, just to frame. Your eyebrows are very important because they do frame the face. So as we get older, we do tend to lose some of our eyebrow hairs. They become less thick. So it just helps to give them a wee bit of definition and just put a little bit of powder or pencil on them. So that's my eyebrows done now as well. And then the next step I would move on to would be a little bit of concealer. So I usually like to do my eyes first and then add concealer to the rest of my skin, because then I know where it needs to go. I don't wear a foundation every day for an everyday makeup because I feel as if it's too much, and I keep it more for a special occasion. So I wouldn't wear foundation every day. Some people do prefer that. And if you do, this would be maybe the step you could put your foundation on. I could do a foundation tutorial just to help give you a little few tips on how to apply your foundation the right way as well. I'm a professional beauty therapist. I've been doing this for over 20 years. So I've done many makeups for brides, special occasions. I'm quite experienced in this, so I will link some more videos below for you as well. But if you did want to see a foundation application video, I can do that for you. So the concealer I go in with every day is the Eraser one by Maybelline. Again, I love this one. I've used it so many years. And I would usually just go under the eye area first of all and just pat a little bit of concealer under there. Sometimes we can get dark circles under our eyes, so this just helps lift that away and just brightens under the eye area. Again, be very gentle when applying concealer under the eyes. You don't want to drag the skin. You just want to be very gentle. I would then apply it just around the corners of my nose, which is sometimes where we get a little bit of redness in there, just in the corners. I would say that if your skin's in pretty good condition, if it's clear, it probably won't need a lot of coverage with foundation and concealer, so just maybe go into the areas that you maybe think need a little bit of that for during the day. So again, I feel as if my skin's generally quite good condition. There's no point putting lots of foundation on it for an everyday makeup look, just maybe a special occasion like a wedding or going out for dinner in the evening. And then I would just, obviously you can see I've got a bit of redness on my chin, so I'm just going to put a little bit of concealer down there just to hide any redness. And that'll just kind of take that away. Usually a concealer just would be enough for this. And then I would just set it with a powder. Whatever your concealer shade is, the one I'll go for is shade, I think it's just shade 1 by Maybelline. So if your skin tone is a similar kind of shade of mine, I would recommend that one. But always test them out first, or see if you can get a sample. Sometimes before you buy any products, I would say make sure you get a sample. I do like to use my fingers when applying concealer. You can also use a concealer brush as well, something like this. This is great for going under the eyes, just to put a little bit of concealer under there. But most people, if they're doing an everyday makeup, sometimes are in a bit of a rush, so fingers are fine, and also helps the makeup kind of melt into the skin quite quickly as well. So yeah, once your concealer's on, I'm kind of happy with that. So I've just done my chin, around the nose area and under the eyes. A good place to also put your concealer if you want is you can put it in between your eyebrows, and that just creates a little bit of space in there as well. So a lot of people, if they maybe feel their eyes are quite close set together, this creates the illusion of a bigger gap. So that's a little tip for you as well. And then the next step I would go to would be lipstick. So when it comes to a lipstick, you go lip gloss or a nude lipstick for during the day. This one is a favourite I've had for years. It's Maybelline and it's shade Velvet Beige, and it's just a lovely nude lipstick. As you can see, it's almost finished, but this has lasted for such a long time. So I'm just going to go in and just put a little bit of this on the lips. And yeah, I'd probably say in everyday makeup I would always go for a kind of nude shade if you're just looking for something that just looks like you've got a little bit of makeup on but not too much. A nude's always a perfect choice to go for. And then the last step that I would usually do, or the second last step I would do, would be blusher. So I'm just going to apply a blusher now, just a selection of some of the blushers that I like to use that I've got in this case. So I usually go for this one, which is just a nude, perfect for everyday, just for an everyday makeup look. And when you apply your blusher, you just want to obviously apply it to here, like the apples of your cheeks, and just gently kind of go in a kind of circle, and always go lightly. You can always add more if you want to, as opposed to putting too much on right away. I would say build it up. So yeah, just a little bit of colour like that. You can also do the neck as well, just so it all blends in perfectly. The last step that I would do would be powder, just to set it. So the powder that I use is this Rimmel one, Stay Matte. I've used this one for years. It's such a good one, and it's very affordable as well. I can do a video where if I share some of my favourite kind of high street makeup with you, which is a lot of the stuff I do use that I find is very good quality. So I'll share some of my favourites with you as well. When it comes to powder, you only want to use a small amount so it doesn't look too thick and heavy. And then you're just going to dust over the areas that you kind of feel need a bit of mattifying and just to set the makeup. So to be honest, I would just go usually over my chin, just where I've done the concealing, around the nose. I would also just take over the head as well, the forehead, and then over my eyebrows, because I do find that it kind of sets them in place as well for the day. So, and then whatever's left on the brush at the end, I would then just dust over the cheeks just to set the blusher in place as well. And that's the finished makeup look. So just a very quick and easy everyday makeup tutorial that's perfect for everyone, no matter what you're doing during the day. If you're just looking for an easy makeup to do and just with colours that most people do have in their collection at home, I would say always go for neutrals. It's very easy and it kind of matches your outfits and what you're wearing as well if you kind of stick to nude shades. So again, I've just went very light on the eyes. I just used the, this was actually the bareMinerals eyeshadow palette. I think it is discontinued now, but I'd imagine most people would have these kind of shades at home. These two ones that create the perfect kind of everyday makeup look. So something very light, and then if you wanted you could go in a wee bit more deeper with this one and give a wee bit more depth. So these are matte colours as well, which are perfect for during the day. If you did want a little bit of shimmer, you can also add that. I do have a favourite eyeshadow that does have a shimmer in it that I also add as well, sometimes during the day, and it's this one by bareMinerals, and it's more of like a rose gold colour, and it's very beautiful on. I will create a separate tutorial using this because it's probably a lovely one to do for the autumn months, so stay tuned for that. If you did enjoy this makeup tutorial video, then make sure you leave a thumbs up and remember to subscribe to the channel. On here I do share makeup tutorials, skincare tutorials, and skincare unboxing videos as well, spas, and I also share some vlogs on the channel as well if you wanted to check those out too. I will link everything that I've used in the description box below so you can find everything in there as well. And I hope you all enjoyed watching, and I'll see you all in the next video.